Okay, I'm going to show you how to create a transparent material that could be used for glass. This is going to be a basic one which will be able to, you'll be able to see through it, but at a later stage I'll show you how to use Fresnel and look at refraction to make it look more like glass. But this is a basic one. So obviously to make things a bit organised, I'm going to create a new folder called glass. I'm going to create a new material called glass mat. Open it up, and I'm just going to make very basic colour. So in fact we can tweak it. We can do scalar. Vector 4. Constant vector 4. Now you're wondering why I'm using this time 4 values. Well, we can actually use the value, the 4th one, for the alpha channel, which will determine the translucency or transparency of the object, of how it lets light go through the surface. So I'm just going to tweak the settings in here. So we're just going to make a nice blue. Okay. A bit of green in it. Give it some specularity. Scale it. Parameter. And again. And then spec command. Spec that. Give it a little bit. Metal amount. Doing the same thing as we did before, just tweaking that value 0.2. And then finally roughness, scalar, parameter, rough. Well, we can leave that in the reflection. We'll see how we get on with this. Okay. This is where we can take that value. We can move these nodes around. So we're just going to mask component. And we're just going to mask. We're just going to take the alpha value from that, and that's eventually going to be fed into the opacity. And you notice it's greyed out at the moment. I'll explain the reason why. But go back to here. So the alpha, we're just going to make that 0.3. Okay. Obviously, you won't see anything in there at the moment. Now, if we click on the glass mat node, you'll notice that the blend mode is opaque. So this is treating this object as an opaque object, so it doesn't calculate any transparency. If we drop that down and go into translucency, you can see it's recalculating. Okay. We're getting the opacity setting here, so we'll drag that into the And as you can see, the alpha channel is too much, so we go back to here, just tweak alpha. Oh, turn off. And as you can see now, we're getting a translucent material which we can see through. Okay. But have you probably noticed that these aren't working at the moment, and I'll show you how why that is. We'll just go back to the material, go back down to translucent, go into screen and space reflections, make sure that is selected, and drop down, we want surface translucence volume. The shader sorts itself out. Let's be calculating the shader. And as you can see, by tweaking that now, we are getting something that's looking a little bit like glass now. So it's got translucency, but it's also got reflection. Okay, so it's very important to make sure you tweak those. So we'll save that. And notice how long the shader takes to save. That's why we're going to tweak this in the instance. Now you notice that we've got these parameters now. Now we should be able to change that to a parameter, and we'll call it glass colour. You probably noticed that we've got an error there. Okay. And we're going to need to fix that. And that's because it's come out of a parameter and it doesn't recognise this value. So we'll tweak that in a second. In fact, we probably don't even need that now, so we'll get rid of that. And as you can see, the parameter has got this fourth value. That's better. Save that. And that should update the instance. All I've done is add wired up the alpha channel into the normal map instead of the opacity map. Okay. As you can see, it's taken a long time for that. Okay, so I'll just tweak. I'll just delete that instance. I'll just make another instance of that, create material instance. Just make sure that's all lined up. As you can see, that's working nicely. I'll save that. And I'll just throw that onto the object. So as you can see now, we've got a nice glass material that you can look through, and that's how you create a nice glass material.